So apparently it had been almost a couple of months and I had been thinking to start a YouTube channel of my own since I've moved to Bangalore for my new job at an MNC, of which the name of which I can't of course disclose. So here I am going to shoot my first one today. Hopefully it's going to be nice. So it's about a vehicle which is a little high, it's been a little hyped as of now. Although might be a little late shooting this, but I've been wanting to do this since a while, and finally I'm able to get a chance today. So hopefully it goes good. The thing about the vehicle being the company has decided to dump the diesel CRDI that they used to offer. Instead they've offered a 1.5 Turbo Petrol, seeing the competition and what the rivals offer. This one's a totally new design language and a complete new generation altogether. So let's see how it goes. So we're today at Advait Hyundai, here to talk about the all-new Verna. The design language they've given it a little different. They've tried to modernize it a little. The wheelbase, talk about it, might be the largest in the segment. Although the fact to be noticed is that the length is not the longest in the segment, but still they've managed to cut out the wheelbase to become the largest. So what results in increasing the wheelbase here is the fact that they're able to scoop out more space in the rear seat. That was somehow a complaint with the Verna ever since it was launched as compared to the rivals of what they offered. Plus what they're also able to give is a better boot space. Here we've got the LED DRLs that are there, out of which only the side ones light up in the day, and the middle strip that you're able to see only lights up when the night lights are turned on. Then we've got the couple of LED clusters that are there, and then below that we've got the indicator lights that are there. So even in this panel you're able to see it's a LED unit that they suppose is sufficient enough, so they've not given the fog lamp units. But what's sad to see is that here the indicator lamps are halogen as well. On moving ahead, we've got the parking sensors. I'm able to see there are 4 of them. Then we've got the sensor for ADAS. I might not have got a lot of space on the driver's side. The side profile looks kinda attractive. Here they've given the Goodyear tires and the tire profile. Let me find it for you. It's 205, 55, R50, R16 instead. Beg your pardon. Talking about the rear profile, it looks bloody good to me. The logo is a little big than ever before. It's catching the eye for some reason. The tail lamps that we've got. So this one's the LED strip that runs throughout. This one lights up at the night. This one whole thing lights up. Then talking about the rear lamp, this one's a halogen. That's the indicator lamp. This one's a halogen too. And this is something that I'm really fond of what Hyundai offers. What's good is that they've given 4 parking sensors here again. Then you're able to see these are the reflectors. And talking about the exhaust pipe outlet, it's sort of hidden, but they've got a single outlet only. So when you get inside the car, I'll just get in. So since this one's a naturally aspirated one, we have got the dual tone interiors in beige and black. Of what Hyundai does it really good. What has been commendable with Hyundai ever since is that it is able to offer the best in class plastic materials. Door panel that we've got here, that's the regular door pocket with Verna and Creta cars. Then that's the door panel that they've given the regular switches, no problems with that. Only the auto up and auto down only for the driver's side window. Then they've got the tweeters, another speaker here. Then surprisingly this is also soft touch. Talking about the buttons, this is the headlight leveler, that's for auto start stop, that's for traction control. And that's the much debatable steering wheel that's there. Not everybody is very fond of how it looks, but I would again say it's polarizing in terms of how it looks. What's there to notice is, for the first time ever, unlike how Hyundai does it, or say like how Germans do it, they've swapped the buttons here. So this is the much new feature that they've offered. You will be definitely seeing in the upcoming cars that are gonna come. This one allows you to swap between the controls for the music system and the air conditioning. Then you've got the ventilator and heated seats both. Although the sort of climate we live in, I don't think heated seats is going to be much of a use. The instrument cluster that they've given here, you control it from here. That's a that's not a fully digital display. These dials that you're able to see are sort of constant, and the panel in the middle, unlike every other Hyundai semi-digital clusters, this one changes with how you work with it. That's something that I should mention here, is that it's very fluid in terms of how it operates. Like it's like operates on feather touch, and it's got all the bells and whistles that you would expect at this price point. It's got the navigation, you've got to be able to control the phone, although not the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay with a wireless feature, but again, you get something which you're able to work on with pretty flawlessly. This the auto dimming IRVM with the controls for Blue Link, plus that's for emergency plus SOS. What they've omitted this time, like the Honda City has, they've omitted the sunglass holder. Talking about the sunshades, they've got the mirror on both sides and even on this side, but no flap. Wow, why discrimination? 2 charging sockets that are there, one for Type C and one for USB regular. One of them would be able to connect you through the Android on Apple CarPlay. That's a 120 watt outlet. This is for the front parking sensor. This is for the parking, the camera that's there, and then this for the drive mode, which you're able to see here. With the drive mode, it changes the color of the tachometer. So talking about the rear seats, now this is where things become a little special. That seat I've adjusted to all the way behind as I could have, and you're still able to see, for my height for reference is 5'9", and you're still able to see quite significant knee room that's there. The underthigh support I would still say is good as well. We've got a couple of charging sockets here. What's been omitted this time from Hyundai is the curtains that gives in this segment, but you'll be able to get a curtain here that you're able to arrange accordingly to, and this one is nice. Then you've got the armrest that's there with a couple of cup holders that it gives, and that's another 2 speakers that have been given with at the rear seat. Talking about the boot that's been given, let me click a button to open it. I've got the keys. I believe it's more than 370 liters of how it offers. Looks decent to me. They've got a padding here, and probably that's for insulation. That's a good thing to give to hide the wirings and all. Let you go through the hood of the car. That's from where you open it. This naturally aspirated 1.5 liter engine. That's the engine bay that you're able to see. This is the battery. Plus, it looks neatly fitted to me. Not very empty in terms of how it's been fitted and adjusted. So fortunately enough, we have been able to get the 1.5 turbo to drive, and we've got the automatic parking lever. What's also good to see is that the panel here are a little different as compared to how it was naturally aspirated. We've got the automatic parking brake, we've got the auto hold function, plus a cup holder here with this sort of functionality of how they used to offer in the Skodas back then for the cup holders. And even the glove box here is a retractable tray that you're able to see. Rest, the color tone of the vehicle is a little different from the naturally aspirated one, so I guess it's time to get started with the driving experience. Let's put out the parking brakes, let's hit the roads. But I guess this is changeable in the settings as far as I've been able to see most of the times. So yeah, talking about the driving experience, first impressions first, the NVH feels to be a little better as compared to how they are in the Honda City. Probably at the same level as that of the Slavi and the Virtus, as I've been able to guess. Then talking about this panel that's there, you've got a similar panel in the XUV 700 as well, but there you're able to feel that it hinders your view or your line of sight a little, but not in case of the Verna. So this one lights up with a push of a little pedal. So finally we've got a little open empty space to be able to drive things up. The throttles, I'm impressed by the throttle response it gives, although it's a little laggy probably because of the let's assume it's the test drive vehicle, probably because of that, but I like the throttle response here. You've got the paddle shifters as well to be able to accompany you. Suspensions as well. Suspensions, it's a 1.5 turbo. They're not very stiff as compared to how I expected them to be. They might be a little stiff as compared to the naturally aspirated, but yeah, the air conditioning is of course good. It's a Hyundai after all. You've got the ambient lightings too. That's something I might not have talked about. So this is the ambient lighting panel that's there. 4 strips here, 1 here. You've got some things at the middle as well. Then you've got one on that door as well. So that's a good lighting strip, and as far as I've been able to know, those are customizable too. So that feels good. On the auto as well, what you're able to see here on the auto button of the air conditioner, there are 3 levels given. I don't know what are these for. I'll have to test them out. This is supposed to give you around 18 to how much fuel economy can we expect out of this?
Around 17 to 18.
17 to 18. And talk about the naturally aspirated?
Around 20 plus.
20 plus with the naturally aspirated and this one. So in the real world, it should be able to give you 16, 17 on the highway. Probably a little better too, but Skodas, I believe, are able to somehow work on that 4-cylinder thing, deactivating a couple of them with their 4-cylinder 1.5 turbo. So that saves the fuel economy for them. So that's the auto start stop functionality that's there. It stops the vehicle, saves fuel. It feels like a driver's car. So what was the problem with the previous generation of Vernas? They have all been the driver's cars, but as compared to what rivals offered, most of them were not as good of passenger cars. The seating experience at the rear was not as good, or probably not as spacious of what you would expect them to be. Although in terms of dimensions, they used to be sort of similar only. But this time around, what they've been able to manage is that they have given the same driving experience with the driving seats and dynamics of the front passenger with a better seating experience for the passengers. So most of the times, if you were a chauffeur-driven person, you would not buy a Verna for that sake. You would either go for a Skoda or a Honda City. But this time around, you've got a good option in Verna as well. No, why wrong side? Oh, so the horn is a little different from what they have been offering in the Hyundais. Okay, so off we go. We're on to sport mode. The ACB on. We've got the handbrake down as well. 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the accelerator. How much it revs? 1500 RPM. Okay, does not allow the launch as such. And let's see how it is able to perform. So, noise is a little. It makes a little noise as compared to how it should, but the response is good. I find it equivalent to what the Skodas offer, but might be a little laggy, the throttle response, but the pull is good. But the pull grunt, the noises are well, and it pulls well. All in all, it pulls well. It's going to enthusiast you. It's good for enthusiasts. It's going to excite you a little. We'll take another river. Camera quality surprisingly is not very good this time. So another thing to talk about, the driving modes that it offers. So sport mode it is. बढ़िया है पर sport mode में like अच्छे से पुल होती है, थोड़ी आवाज़ ज़्यादा करती है, but after all पुल होती है. Well, the steering becomes a little heavy too, noticeably. All in all, it's Wednesday morning. We have shot our first vlog. Hope you guys like it, and make sure if you like the vlog, hit the like button, press the subscribe button, of course. Before exiting, let me give you the final thoughts over the car. The driving position, it gives you command, that gives you comfort. The rear seat passenger comfort, that was quite good. The boot that it offers, the tech that it gives in terms of ADAS, probably the only car that offers a level 2 in the segment. The front of the car, although I like the design language from the rear and the side, the front profile is what I'm a little delusional about. NVH levels, when you try to throttle it, it's relatively more noisy as compared to how fast it picks up. Although that's on to similar notes with the Slavia and the Virtus, but the mileage as well, they might be able to throw a little bit better mileage in terms of the 1.5 turbo. Cruxing it up, Hyundai have been able to make another no-nonsense car that is going to be liked by people. Of course, it's got a legacy of its own, but it offers almost everything that you would want. It offers comfort, it offers space, good boot, it offers decent mileage by the naturally aspirated if you want the ergonomics and the utility basis. Of course, since it's a Hyundai, you got good quality interiors, the plastics are good, the service experience is going to be good. What will be important to see is how good the sales are, and that's going to be the end of our vlog, and I would want to see you on to the next one. And I just hope I'm able to put through some good content through this channel.